Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've seen a lot of trades, a lot of moves, a lot of blockbuster deals that shake the NFL to its core. But I can tell you straight up, what's unfolding behind closed doors right now goes beyond anything we've seen in recent memory. There's a secret, a revelation that could redefine the entire landscape of the 2026 season, and it's happening right now. You think you know the NFL? Think again. What I'm about to tell you will blow your mind, and I guarantee, if you're a true fan, you'll want to stay until the very end because this isn't just a rumor, it's a mosaic of sources, insiders, and coded signals pointing to one massive, jaw-dropping move. And yes, it involves Jamal Adams. But not where you think. Not yet. Stay locked in, because what I'm about to reveal will make your jaw hit the floor. If you think you've seen them all, think again, this one is different. It's bigger. It's more calculated. It's almost mystical in scope. But first, if you want the full, unfiltered truth behind this game-changing story, if you want to be ahead of even the most plugged-in insiders, hit that subscribe button now. Smash that like button. Activate your notifications because I'll be dropping everything you need to know, exclusive details, insider conversations, and a step-by-step breakdown of the unthinkable unfolding right before our eyes. This is not just analysis. It's revelation. This is the kind of info that separates the fans from the insiders, the casual from the elite. So if you're ready to see the NFL's biggest secret come to light, let's dive deep into the heart of what's real. Now, let's talk Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland, a team that last tasted playoff success in 2023, that has been overshadowed by division rivals like Baltimore and Pittsburgh, but what's happening now is rewriting their entire future. The Browns have been in a state of limbo since Kevin Stefanski's firing in early January after an abysmal 5-12 season, finishing last again in the AFC North. But behind closed doors, there's a storm brewing, a plan so audacious, so meticulously crafted, that many inside the league are whispering about an insane move that could shift the balance of power. The new head coach? Todd Monken. Yes, the same Monken who spent the last 3 years as the Ravens' offensive coordinator, and who, astonishingly, is now walking into Berea to take the reins of a sinking ship. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. But what's truly mind-blowing, what is the real reason they brought him in? Let me tell you, the Browns are eyeing something much, much bigger. Something so massive that it might cause a seismic shift in their roster, their identity, even their entire franchise philosophy. And at the center of this storm? Jamal Adams. But I'm not just talking about a typical trade rumor here, no sir. This is about a seismic, game-changing move. This is about an alliance that could redefine the NFL's defensive landscape in ways few dare to imagine. And I will tell you why. Because from my sources, from whispers in league circles, from insiders who have seen the chessboard from the inside, the Browns, with their new regime, their aggressive rebuild, are set to pull off something extraordinary. But first, let's step back for a moment. Adams. A player who, just a few years ago, was considered the best safety in the NFL, an elite pass rusher, a multi-dimensional beast that could cover, blitz, and make plays like few others. Yet today, what do we see? Injuries. Durability concerns. A player fighting to stay at his peak, constantly battling setbacks. Still, when he's healthy, Adams is an absolute difference-maker. His film tells the story, a relentless, aggressive force who can line up anywhere, dictating the pace and tone of any game. His ability to rush the passer, record sacks from the safety position, and play in coverage at an elite level, that's what makes him the target in this whole picture. Let me get into the film just for a second because this is where it gets interesting. Adams' tape is almost mythical. In 2020, he set an NFL record, 9.5 sacks in just 12 games, the most ever by a safety in a single season. His hits are thunderous, his instincts razor-sharp, his closing speed almost supernatural. Watch how he reads the quarterback's eyes, how he explodes through gaps to sack the QB or smack the receiver's route at the last second. His coverage skills? Off the charts. He's able to single cover tight ends, provide run support, and blitz in ways that leave offenses guessing. Advanced metrics show a player whose coverage grade routinely ranked among the top safeties, with a pass rush win rate hovering around 18% in peak years, elite for a DB. So why the big rumor? Why would Cleveland, a team in shambles on paper, want a player like Adams? Simple. Because they see him as the missing piece. They see a player who could anchor their defense, bring that edge, that swagger, and elevate every part of their secondary. With Monken's offensive mind and a more aggressive, blitz-heavy scheme on defense, Adams fits like a glove. Think about it, a safety who can also rush the passer, who can match up against the league's best tight ends, and who commands respect across the field. That's the kind of player who transforms a defense from good to elite. Now, let's talk trade mechanics. How could Cleveland pull this off? The NFL trade market is a complex puzzle, especially with a player like Adams, whose value fluctuates based on injury history and contract demands. Cleveland would need to offer a compelling package, perhaps multiple high draft picks, maybe 1 or 2 future firsts, or a young star on their roster. Remember, Adams isn't just a rental. He's 30, yes, but still at the peak of his powers when healthy. His contract? Likely a short-term extension or restructuring to make the cap work. Still, the league whispers suggest Cleveland might be willing to part with a hefty haul, especially if it means acquiring a player of Adams' caliber and impact. What about the cap hit? Given Adams' history, he's due a sizable contract, but with the new regime, they're probably willing to absorb some of that for a player who can change their entire defensive identity. The Raiders, meanwhile, could be looking to maximize value, perhaps a mid-round selection, a couple of day 2 picks, and a role player or two in exchange. It's a classic win-win. Raiders move on from the injury concerns, Cleveland gets a foundational piece, and the NFL landscape shifts. But let's be real, this is not just about the trade itself. It's about the message it sends. Cleveland wants to go all in. They're not playing to survive anymore, they're playing to dominate. Adams, with his leadership, his intensity, his unmatched versatility, embodies that mentality. And I believe the league insiders see it too. This move is coming, and it's coming fast. So what's the scheme fit? Perfect, actually. Todd Monken's offense flourishes with dynamic players who can create chaos, and Jamal Adams would do exactly that on defense. Think of the possibilities: a safety who can blitz, edge rushers who can scheme around his pressure, linebackers freeing up to make plays, and a secondary that's feared because they have a guy who can do everything. It's reminiscent of the Seahawks' aggressive style, but with a modern twist, a hybrid defense that's unpredictable, relentless, and suffocating. The comparison? Adams' style mirrors players like Troy Polamalu or Ed Reed in their prime, game changers who redefine what a safety can be. And Cleveland? They need that. They need a player who commands respect and fear, who transforms their entire defense into a nightmarish obstacle for offenses. And the fallout? It's enormous. Imagine the league reaction. Rivals are watching in disbelief. The division rivals, who have dominated the AFC North for so long, will be scrambling. The Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, all will be watching anxiously because this move could give Cleveland an immediate defensive upgrade, and possibly push them into the playoff picture next season. And here's the crazy part: sources close to the league are whispering about the potential for a storm of other moves if this trade happens. Could Cleveland target other key pieces in free agency? Maybe pursue a veteran cornerback or a disruptive linebacker? Would the Raiders look to rebuild or even pivot on their plans? The dominoes are set to fall, and once this move is made, the NFL's entire tectonic plates could shift. Now, what about the timing? Expect this to unfold in the next few weeks, during the combine, leading into the NFL draft. The Browns are known for their aggressive plans, and with the new coaching staff eager to make a splash, they'll want to make this statement early. League insiders suggest that Cleveland is prepared to offer a package that will shock everyone, a blockbuster deal that will shake the league to its core. And as I've been saying, this isn't just talk. It's coming. So, my final verdict? I believe the Cavaliers, no, the Browns, are about to pull off one of the most audacious, game-changing trades the NFL has seen in years. Jamal Adams, the elite safety, the sack artist, the playmaker, he's about to become the cornerstone of their new identity. This move will redefine the AFC North, push Cleveland into relevancy, and send shockwaves through the NFL community. Watch this space, because the next few weeks could be history in the making. And trust me, when it happens, you'll want to say you saw it first. Stay tuned. The NFL's biggest secret is almost out.